Do, 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 do. Cheers to trying something new, Dami. Cheers to trying something new. No, so we wanted to give you our initial impressions video of the Jean Paul AS-400. So I'm on their website, jeanpaulusa.com, and they have it. It's funny. I just copied what other people say, but on their website it says intermediate sax. So I had been calling it the student sax. That's what I heard other people say, but I'm on their website, and so it's the intermediate alto saxophone AS-400, which costs $499 for the brass. But now that I've played it for, I'd say, guesstimating, I'd say at least 10 hours. We've logged at least 10 hours on this bad boy, so it's not like, I wouldn't say a review, but a good first initial impressions. And I wanted to start with the case. I actually like it. It's soft, but I like the fact that you could carry it as a backpack. I actually really like that, because I could see myself doing that. And then let me open it. But I was gonna say, I don't mind the gold. I really don't. But for $100 more on their website, for $100 more, so the AS-400 SP is $599, so $600 for the silver. And I have to say, silver looks really good. When you first buy something, you don't know, and that's why I told my wife, I'm like, you know what, when I initially ordered it, I'm like, $500. I mean, who knows if this is gonna be good, because like everything else at that price range kind of was like hit or miss, and I think all around so far, having it for a week, putting about 10 hours of playtime through it, or practice, excuse me, because I'm not really, I'm relearning. It's been over 2 decades since I've played the saxophone, so I really consider myself approaching this with zero knowledge. So, but yeah, it is very, okay. So here, I'll just start with the mouthpiece. I would, if I was gonna just be playing this, I would probably upgrade this. It's okay. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's acceptable. It's adequate. It works. I'll just show you. I can't really say a lot because I'm not knowledgeable in like the verbiage and stuff. But there we go. Focus. It is quite nice. So one key, I believe this just sticks ever so slightly, but it's less. I feel like as I'm playing it more, it's kind of not sticking as badly. One thing that I do really like is, so this part on the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see it, it has like a ledge here. I haven't seen saxophones. I had a Yamaha back in the 90s, but it didn't have this ledge. So I remember like I would have all these dents here because, like I was a kid and I didn't care. And I had a big old dent. So it's good to see this, because obviously if you have a kid, they're just going to be dropping it. And it's good to have this. So this hopefully would just get dented up, and hopefully that won't affect the sound, because this piece right here is kind of layered on top. The lighting. Gotta work on my lighting. There you go. But all in all, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I really do. For the price, for $500, I don't think you could beat it. I really don't, Dami. I really don't, Bubs. There it is. I just wanted to show you a little bit better. And I'm checking their site, and I'm actually really excited. So let me go back over here. 1 second. Their curved soprano. So I think, I'm going to try to talk I know I'm going to wait a little bit, probably like a year, because I could tell when I upset my wife and I'm spending like more money than I should be ever. All the time. Always I do that. But I was just eyeing their, you know, for what is this? Okay, so like I said, I would pay the extra for the silver, but they have an intermediate soprano sax for $780 in silver. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It looks so good. Even the tenor too, the tenor in silver. And I hope they do the professional. Please, if you watch this, Jean Paul, please, if you're watching, do the AS-860 in silver, please. Please do that for $1,400. So that's actually, I'm actually really excited. That's probably realistically next year what I would buy is the AS-860, depending on you know, kind of what kind of mileage I get out of this saxophone. But I'm already guesstimating for $1,300. For $1,300, their AS-860. I think that's going to be a really good steal. I really do. I think it's going to be definitely worth the money. Definitely. So I think I will have to pick that up. I really, you know, sometimes this is me. Even when I don't have the money, I'll just tell myself, I'll be like, no, sorry, that's too good. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to get that. And then it's weird how once I make that decision, it's almost like the universe it's like the universe kind of like makes it happen. Like not right away, but I've noticed that in life. Within a couple years, if I still have that on my mind, it like literally makes itself happen. Which I think that's probably true for everyone. So I like it. Can't complain. I really can't. Just for that one little sticky key, a little bit that's sticky. And also, I heard somebody say that this kind of moves around in the... I mean, I find it acceptable. I really do. I mean, yeah, it does kind of wiggle in the case. But everything is very nice. Everything is very nice. They give you one of the... No, the Rico's. Rico. They give you one Rico, I believe. And then this... And then I bought just some cleaning supplies, my tuner for down the road. Right now I'm not even worried about. Right now I'm just trying to get consistent sound. This is what I used back in the day, so this is what I bought. I don't know, you could tell me if that's good or not. You know, I realized, you know, when you come back to stuff, you just kind of, you start out where you left off, I think, to a certain extent, and then I think you grow into whatever it is that you were going to continue to grow into. And that's what I love about life. It's like you could step away from something for like 20 years. And then literally when I ordered the sax and I opened the box, and granted, I already in my mind, I knew, you know, I told myself to not have super high expectations because, you know, I was like $500. I understand, you know, even back when I was a child, $500 would not have bought you a good saxophone by any stretch of the imagination. So I realized that now 20 years later, I would expect it to be even less possible. So, but even with that, I was like, my goodness. As soon as I touched it, I was like, this is absolutely amazing. Amazing. No, so I'm excited to keep playing. I was thinking, I just wanted to end with one last thing. It's just kind of like, this is kind of what I do love about having your own YouTube channel. Is like no one can be like, yo, I don't like your stories. And I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep telling. But no, it reminded me of, so my first computer was shot out to, I think it was Circuit City, Good Guys. I can't remember. But I remember it was a Macintosh, excuse me. They called it Macintosh 2VX. And that was like $3,000. This was like in the late 80s, I believe, maybe early 90s. But I just remember going with my mom, and my mom was just super, like, my mom is an amazing woman. But I just remember like going in there and then talking to the salesman, and they're like, you know, whatever the price was, I don't remember. I think it was either, I know it was like in the ballpark of 3,000, which when you think about it, back in the early 90s, I mean, I don't know exactly what it would be, you know, today's money, but I'm sure like it would be equivalent to probably easily at least $10,000. But I just remember the salesman, he was like, yeah, you know, you'll have this and it'll be good until like you're in college, and then probably, you know, you'll probably just be good. And I just think it's interesting, you know, when you when you see something like, especially right now, like with the explosion of private, you know, space exploration, I think we don't realize, you know, I was talking to my wife about this too. I was like, I don't think we realize that, you know, in like 10 or 20 years, guys are going to be able to buy like private ships and like go into space. And I was thinking about that with, you know, the ships that came across the ocean. And I get it, you know, like the ones that we read about are the ones that made it and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure there were like tons of people that tried that probably made it and just, you know, we never heard about it because maybe they started cities or civilizations like just in their name, or they didn't make it, you know. But it's like there's something, I think there's just something inherent in us to want to explore. And I really think the next decade, if not the next decade or the next two, will definitely, it's going to be exciting. You know, I think there's going to be people, you know, like you'll have these private ships. And I think a lot of people are just going to be like, you know what, I'm out. And you know what, I can't blame them, because I mean, if you look at the way situation's going with a lot of stuff, you know, I think a lot of people are like, you know what, I could spend whatever, a few million on this spaceship, or, you know, like spaceship, lack of a better word, but, and then maybe they go out there for money. You know, you could even, not to the extreme of saying like, I'm going to go out there, but you could probably just leave for months, you know, just in case you were worried. I mean, that could also be a thing too. All I'm saying is it's going to be interesting. And if you think about it, how do laws apply too once you're in space? Like, who's the governing body when a crime occurs in outer space? I hate to go in that direction, but, you know, this just, you know, like sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, some people, they know they can break the rules and get away with it, they're going to do it. So how do we curve that? How do we curve that? All right, thank you. Thank you for letting me be random. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jean-Paul. You know, if you're willing to like let me fondle all your saxophones, I would love to do that. Or if you just want to send me one, a silver one, I would prefer it. But all I'm saying is I would love to test out your stuff. This is not an advertisement. I bought this saxophone with my wife's money. Because she's the only one who works. I'm not working. I'm right here with my son. We're having a grand old time. So I think we're going to play some music and have a blessed day.